Capricorn, welcome to your love reading for February 2018. This is Elizabeth from channelguidance.com. So you had the most views for the month of January. As of right now, that video is at 95,749. So thank you for the views. You're going first and you're getting a slightly longer reading. I do have a few jumping cards for you from both decks. Let me show you the jumping card from this deck first. You had the Queen of Swords, so this is someone who is an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. So this is someone that is very significant to you in the month of February. So I'm going to put it back there. You also had three cards that all jump together. So I feel like this is a message for you. This is kind of like a reading in itself. So here they are. You have the Hermit, you have the Ace of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. So let me just put them here and talk about them. So you have the Ace of Wands. It's almost like in the month of February, you have something new being offered to you. This is a new beginning. This can be that you're meeting somebody new. If you're single, somebody new is coming in, or if you're already in a relationship, somebody wants to try again. Somebody wants to rekindle. But that's where these two cards come in. The Hermit and the Page of Pentacles. This means that you may not be really eager to say, yes, I'll take you back. Let's get back together right now. This means that you need some space and some time to figure out if this is what you want. So I feel like with new beginnings in the month of February, like you won't be eager to jump on board. You'll want to kind of really think about things and soul search. That's the energy of this card. And not only that, but I mean, you have the Page of Pentacles. And this does mean communication, so there can be a lot of communication going back and forth about a new beginning. And like I said, either getting to know somebody new or rekindling something with someone from the past. But this just means that you're studying the situation. You're studying this new beginning to see if it's what you want or not. Okay, so I'm going to put them back and we'll see if any of these come up for your reading. Okay, so let's start off with this deck here. I'm going to get 9 cards for you. This is a love reading for the sign of Capricorn for February 2018. And you have Karma, so this would be the Judgment card. Love reading for Capricorn, February 2018. The Fool. Love reading for Capricorn. The Empress. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for February. You have the King of Cups. The Seven of Cups. Interesting. The Queen of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for February. You have the Five of Wands. Love reading for Capricorn. The shadow side, so this would be the Devil. And the Eight of Swords. Okay, what's the most important message that the Capricorn needs to hear for the month of February? And you have Temperance. So this is telling you to be very forgiving. That's what I was seeing at the beginning of the reading. Some type of like new beginning being offered to you, but you're like, no, I need time to think. Or it could be the other way around. It could be that you want a new beginning with someone and you have to be patient. The main energy from Temperance is just kind of don't do anything crazy, keep things in balance, and just be really patient. So we'll come back to this to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. Let's go ahead and take it one row at a time. So let me just kind of bring things into focus a little bit. I'm using a slightly different camera and it keeps changing focus on me. Okay, so we have Karma, the Fool, and the Empress. So right away, bang, you start off with 3 major arcanas. So something significant, something big is happening in your love life for the month of February, and you start off with the Judgment card. So you know what I mean, this is what I was getting from that Ace of Wands that jumped for you, some type of new beginning. Judgment is a new beginning, but it's also a second chance. And what I see here is that you've got 2 new beginnings that have the energy of like forgiving someone from the past, because the Judgment card, Karma, this is like a second chance, you know, like either a second chance because you're single and you're meeting somebody new, or it's a second chance, someone's giving you a second chance, or you're giving someone else a second chance to make you happy. Not only that, but you have the Fool, another major arcana. This is also a new beginning. So I mean, like, you start off with two new beginnings, but the Fool, this is also having to take a risk on someone. So the risk could be that they did you wrong in the past. Maybe they cheated. Maybe they just didn't give you the relationship you were hoping for. The Fool just means that you're going to have to really just trust your heart and your intuition and just go with it. So I still get the, I get the feeling there is some type of like new beginning or second chance when it comes to love and romance, where you're just going to have to trust what your intuition is telling you about the person. This could be someone from the past that, that did you wrong, or it could even be somebody new where you feel like, this is not usually my type, not the type of person I get involved with, but I feel drawn to them and I'll take a chance. Now the good news is you do have the Empress with all of this. So the Empress, another major arcana, and she represents the energy of having it all. She represents happiness, she represents love, marriage, commitment. Again, the energy of having the whole package. So it's like this row is telling us, if you accept new beginnings in whatever way that means to you, if you accept new beginnings and you take a risk and you listen to your intuition, you're going to get the whole package. You're going to get everything that you wanted, but you're going to have to listen to your heart and your intuition with that full energy being there. You won't have any type of reassurance. You won't have any guarantees it's going to work out. But I do see the Empress there telling me that ultimately you're going to get everything that you want from this person. Okay, second row is also very, very interesting. You have the King and Queen of Cups with the Seven of Cups in the middle. So this is, a strong message of a water sign being significant to you. So this would be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. This can even be your energy if you have a moon or a rising sign in any of these signs. This just means that it's just like a strong water sign message. However, there is confusion here. You have the Seven of Cups. And also keep in mind with these court cards that they may not be, a water sign. It could just be that someone is in the energy of a water sign. So this would be that it's either you or your partner, someone that's very affectionate, romantic, sensitive, intuitive. There's a strong energy of that in this reading. And then there's confusion in the middle. For some of you, there can even be like a decision you have to make. And this could be what the top row is about. Because the Seven of Cups does mean that you're lost. You're confused because you have to make a choice. And, there's just so many choices. And it could be for some of you, maybe for those who are single, that there are so many choices when it comes to love. You've met so many people, but you're going to have to pick one to settle down with. And so some of these can be a water sign. But this also just means that, someone's feeling lost and confused. And this can even be, like I said, from the top row, that you're confused and this card also represents being really emotional. You're emotional because you don't know what to do. You don't know if there's going to be a new beginning, or you don't know if you want a new beginning with this person. I mean, the Fool is telling you to listen to your intuition, and the Empress is telling you that you will have everything that you want. But there is a strong energy of you being confused when it comes to love. And perhaps, this has to do with someone who is a water sign, or maybe you're the water sign. Perhaps your moon or your rising sign. Okay, so the bottom row here is also very interesting. It's an eye-opener. You have the Five of Wands, the shadow side, which is the Devil, and the Eight of Swords. So there is something troubling you when it comes to love in the month of February. Remember that this was your main energy, Temperance, which is telling you be forgiving, don't get angry, be really patient with yourself and with your significant other. I'll just put her here so you can see it. This is something intense going on. You've got the Five of Wands, which is challenging, the shadow side, which is a major arcana of the Devil, and then the Eight of Swords. So, I mean, for some of you, because I see the Five of Wands and the Seven of Cups, not for everyone, but I mean, the Five of Wands can mean there's competition. And I've been hearing a lot of that lately in private readings. Someone's, trying to take my husband, or, maybe you're interested in someone who's married. I don't judge. I mean, the Five of Wands means that there's competition. And it could be, let me just go with that message, because that felt like that this applies to someone who's watching this reading. It could be that, you are interested in someone where there's someone else in the picture. Maybe they're married, maybe they already have a significant other. If that is the case, I mean, you have the Eight of Swords on the other side, which means someone feels trapped. And the Devil in the middle here is telling me that that is an unhealthy relationship. There's something unhealthy. Perhaps the person's not in love with their partner anymore. There's a lot of jealousy or toxic energy. So I do get that. But, for those who are already coupled, where there is no love triangle, This could just mean that there's a lot of misunderstandings and a lot of bickering. The Five of Wands does not have to be all competition. It just means that egos are clashing. Like you and your partner, you don't understand each other. You just, you fight and you bicker. This is just really petty energy. And with the Devil being here, this is not a really negative card. This one is. It could be that if a relationship, you started to bicker and just kind of getting on each other's nerves, that things could get a little worse in the month of February. And there's a message here telling me that you might be feeling stuck in this relationship. And this could be a message, for certain people, not everybody. And it could be that maybe it's time to go. Maybe you've already been really patient with this person. I feel like if you're in a really toxic relationship where you're watching this reading hoping for a confirmation that you should bail, this is your confirmation. That perhaps something that's starting off as petty could turn into something ugly. But it could also be that there's a lot of pettiness, just small arguments. Everyone fights. It doesn't have to be the end. That you have to be careful that you don't fall into this energy where the relationship becomes downright ugly, unhealthy. And it could be that you with the Eight of Swords, that you feel powerless. You feel like, I can't do anything because my partner won't change. We're going to get more confirmation, but your main energy is patience and for you to not do anything extreme. So I feel like, not everything has to be lost here. It could just be that, you need to watch the energy, make sure that the fighting and the arguing does not get out of control. Like something will change with that Eight of Swords. This is you just feeling stuck in this energy. Things will change. Okay, so let's get some more confirmation from this deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for February 2018? You have the Four of Swords. Interesting. The Four of Wands. And the Eight of Cups. I'll put it here so you can see it. So these three cards right here. Four of Swords, Four of Wands, Eight of Cups. So for some of you, and I was getting that from the bottom row. This won't apply to everyone, but let me just hold it up for you so you can see it. For some of you, this means some space. This could be someone, kind of telling you, I need some space from this relationship or this marriage. And it very well could be a marriage because you have a marriage card here. The Four of Wands represents marriage and the home and a sense of stability. This came out with the Eight of Cups, which is a goodbye. Someone having a change of heart. And I'm just noticing that now you have the Seven and Eight of Cups right next to each other. So for some of you, like I said, for those that are watching because you're in a really kind of negative relationship, or maybe you just don't want to be with the person anymore. Maybe you are drawn to someone else because there is confusion here, and kind of telling me that there could be someone else that you're interested in, especially with the Five of Wands in the same reading and then a goodbye card. It could be that you've reached the point where you need to retreat a little bit. You need some space to figure things out. This also means that you have a lot going on in your head, a lot of thoughts, and you need to sort through these, and you need to figure out what you're going to do. And I feel like, ultimately what you want is you just want happiness. You want a stable relationship. You want a relationship with a firm foundation. And either you're going to be able to work this out with your current spouse and have that, that strong commitment. None of this wishy-washy energy of we're together and then we're not together, break up, get back together. Like, I feel like you're really kind of demanding commitment. You're demanding, a strong relationship in the month of February. And if you're not getting that, if you're giving someone space and they're still not committing to you, some of you could be walking away with the Eight of Cups. But I feel like that doesn't have to be the message for everyone. It could also be the other way around. It could be that, somebody asked for some space. Because, I'm reading them like this. Four of Swords, Eight of Cups, Four of Wands. It could be the other way around. This is a general reading, so you're going to have to think how this applies to you. It could also be that someone asked for some space. Maybe they're not here anymore. Maybe that's why you're watching the reading. Somebody's told you, I've got to step back a little bit. I need to figure things out. They left. This is a goodbye card. But I still see a marriage there. So for some of you, it's not, if you're watching this because somebody left or broke up with you, I still see either a marriage, if you're already married, or perhaps a relationship that could lead to marriage. So I get both of those messages from these three cards. Okay, so let's get some more confirmation from the second deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for February 2018? Nine of Swords. What other messages are there for Capricorn? Page of Cups. Eight of Swords. So this is a repeating card because you have that right here. Same card, different deck. What's the most important message that Capricorn needs to hear from this deck? The Hangman. Interesting. So you're feeling stuck when it comes to your love life. You're feeling stuck and you're feeling like things are not moving forward. So there's definitely something going on that is troubling you. Let's start off with the repeating card. The Eight of Swords from both decks. So out of this entire reading with all of these cards, this is probably the most important message for you, that in the month of February you might be feeling really kind of stuck, feeling like your hands are tied behind your back. I feel like there's something that's troubling you, or a relationship is not moving forward, or somebody has asked for some space, or somebody broke up with you and you feel like there is nothing that you can do about it. But remember that this does not mean you're stuck. This just means that you think you're stuck. And I feel like there's possibly, you know, a lot of things that you're not seeing yet. Because I still see new beginnings here and kind of, you know, a relationship coming back to life. But let's look at these three cards right here. You've got the Nine of Swords. So this tells me that you are really nervous right now. There's, you know, you have a lot of terrible thoughts going through your head. I mean, I hate to say that, but that is the energy of this card. You're fearing the worst. Maybe you're fearing that somebody that left, which I see here, somebody that left is not coming back. The Nine of Swords just means that you're imagining like the worst possible thing that could happen in your love life. You could also be worrying that you're not going to meet anybody. I just noticed that I pulled the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords with the Page of Cups in the middle, just like the energy we had on the other side of the reading. So I feel like this is kind of telling us a story. It's like you're fearing the worst and you feel absolutely trapped, yet you've got this like beautiful energy in the middle. So I feel like from, you know, many of you, you're worrying over nothing. Keep in mind that the Nine of Swords, this is a card of worry without merit. So what you're driving yourself crazy thinking about is not even going to happen. You're just, you know, you're imagining the worst. Your mind is playing tricks on you. And you did have, again, the Eight of Swords 2 times in this reading, which is, you know, all about your mind playing tricks on you, making you think that you're stuck. So again, you know, this challenging energy of 8 and 9 of Swords, but then this like beautiful energy of the Page of Cups. So this could be a new relationship coming in for you. Maybe those who are single, or you're fearing, you know, that you're not going to meet anybody, or you're not going to get married. I see love here. It could even be with a water sign, because I mean, you have the King and Queen of Cups. But this could also just be, you know, that a relationship is rekindled. This can be communication. This can be someone reaching out to you and telling you, you know, let's work things out. This could be a love letter. This is just communication from the heart. And again, it's kind of interesting that it came out with challenging energy of like, you know, a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety, somebody on pins and needles, and someone that feels like powerless, like I can't do anything about this. So just when you're looking at this reading, I am going to pull more cards because I want your reading to be a little longer since you had the most views. I'm just going to take a look at this whole reading, and then I will pull, believe it or not, more cards. We're going to get more confirmation. This is what my 1 hour and a half 2018 reading looks like. So what I see here, I mean, I feel like this whole reading like ties together. I feel like there's something very strange going on where there's challenging energy. Again, the Nine of Swords and the Eight of Swords, both really difficult energy of feeling trapped and just like, you know, your mind making you imagine the worst. Yet there's love right in the middle. Like, you know, there could be a relationship being rekindled, or someone reaching out to you and telling you that they love you. And I see that same kind of story going on over here on this side. The Four of Swords, which, you know, it represents perhaps someone that moved out, that needed some space, that walked out on you, with the Eight of Cups, which is the goodbye card, which means somebody did walk out on you. This could also be you, that you are the one that walked out, that said goodbye. But just like on the other side, you have a really positive card in the middle. I mean, if they were all challenging, I'd say, you know, it could be that you're leaving a relationship. But I mean, I still see a marriage here with the Four of Wands. I still see a marriage, or this could be a relationship that is moving towards marriage. Another interesting synchronicity in this reading is that, I mean, like right here, this is like the elephant in the room, the King and Queen of Cups. So again, a water sign, but if you are not a water sign or your partner, when the kings and the queens come out like this together, this means that these are two people that belong together, that are very similar. But it could be that someone doesn't see it, because I mean, you have the Seven of Cups, which does represent lack of clarity. It just means someone's really confused right now. So this could be why somebody asked for some space. I just feel like there's something really confusing going on in your love life right now. Keep in mind the main energies were the Hangman. You're feeling stuck. You feel like your whole love life is in limbo. But you did have Temperance telling you to hold on, to be patient. So I feel like if there is something challenging happening in your love life, that even if you know you're in that phase where somebody has moved out or asked for some space, that things may not move in the direction that you're thinking, because right away you start off with 3 major arcanas and 3 really positive ones. Karma, which is judgment. This is a second chance. This is a relationship that you thought was dead and just long gone. Someone that was just gone from your life, back again, asking for a second chance. And the Fool, a new beginning, where you know you don't have any guarantees it's going to work out a second time. You have no guarantees, but you're just going to have to follow your heart and your intuition. And the Empress telling me, if you accept this second chance and you know these new beginnings, you will have everything that you wanted from that person. Maybe it didn't work out the first time for reasons that you don't understand, but I still see you getting what you want. So I feel like, you know, there could be something really difficult going on with Capricorn right now, but I see that changing. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is, like I said, this is usually what I do when I do the 1.5 hour 2018 readings, is I just keep pulling cards. And I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to set some more cards there. 3 more cards from this deck. Okay, what other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for February 2018? You have the Page of Pentacles. So this was one of the cards that jumped for you at the beginning of the reading, you know, telling us that, you know, there's something where you really need to reflect. You really need to think about something very carefully. Let's see what other messages there are. 7 of Swords. Okay, let me get one more. Wow, repeating card. The 9 of Swords. Okay, I'll put it there. So let's look at these 3 cards. I'll pick this one up for you. So the Page of Pentacles, it just means that you need to study. You need to study what's going on in your love life very carefully, because I get a strong feeling from this reading that things are not what they seem. There's very confusing energy right smack in the middle of the reading. Very confusing energy. And, you know, perhaps things getting really ugly with the Devil being in this reading. But they could be getting really ugly because somebody is feeling trapped. And this is a repeating card. This just means that you need to really look carefully. Put your relationship, your feelings for your partner, their feelings for you, they need to be under the microscope, because there's something that you need to see. And we're just going to jump over here because this is a repeating card. 9 of Swords. Again, that sense of anxiety, of just worry, of like, I know I've lost them. I know they're never going to come back. Repeating energy. You have it from the other deck as well. So there's a strong sense of anxiety around you for the month of February, where you have to look carefully. I mean, you do have the 7 of Swords right in the middle of this. And the 7 of Swords, this usually means that you've got to... This card can mean self-deceit. And it can mean that, you know, you're being your own worst enemy. And seeing the 9 of Swords 2 times, which, like I said, this is worry without merit, where you're worrying yourself sick, imagining the worst over nothing, because it's not even true. And it could be, you know, that some of you need to look at what's going on in your life and your relationships very carefully, because you can't jump to conclusions. The main energy was telling you that. Don't do anything crazy. Don't assume the worst, because that could be that is not even what's going on. And I feel like by jumping to conclusions and not studying what's going on in your relationship or marriage, you could be shooting yourself in the foot here with the 7 of Swords. This can represent deceit, but seeing what it came out with, I don't really get that energy. I mean, it could be that you're worrying that your partner is being dishonest with you. This can even be that, you know, that they're cheating on you. Maybe you're worried about that. The Page of Pentacles is telling you, look at this very carefully. Like, really do your homework to see if they really are cheating. I mean, this won't apply to everyone, but that is one of the meanings of this card. If you think that they're cheating, have proof first before you jump to conclusions. Have proof before you file for divorce. Because, I mean, I see somebody leaving. Let me just get this out of the way. Possibly somebody leaving here, and then somebody leaving here. So make sure that whatever it is that your mind is convincing you is happening, make sure it's really happening, because the Nine of Swords is here 2 times. And like I said, this usually means that you're thinking something that is not even true. It's not even true. Okay, so let me move you back this way. And I'm going to get 3 more cards from this deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for February 2018? The Magician. Messages for Capricorn for February. The Seven of Swords, repeating card, which ironically it was the second card I pulled from the other side as well. And then you have the Queen of Swords, so an air sign. I'll put it here so you can see it. So what you have here is the Magician, which is telling you that, you know, you've got to be careful because you have all the power in the month of February. So if you are thinking the worst, and I see that here, it's a repeating card. So there's a strong feeling of like anxiety around you in the month of February. Really kind of imagining like the worst. Think of what, you know, what is the worst possible thing you can imagine when it comes to your love life. That could be that that's what that is happening with you. The Magician is telling you that, you know, you're creating your own reality. So be careful with your thoughts. This also is telling you that, you know, a situation that you feel is hopeless, because you do have the Eight of Swords 2 times as a repeating energy, where you feel trapped and you feel powerless to change something in your relationship. This means that you can change it. The Magician is this, you know, is the ultimate message that nothing is written in stone. Even if somebody did bolt on you, they did leave, and things could change. It just means you're creating all the magic. Nothing is written in stone. You can change any type of situation. You have the power to do that. You also have the repeating energy here, the Seven of Swords. And you have this on the other side of the reading, and it was also the second card that I pulled. So I thought that was interesting. And I still get that feeling, because I had that feeling on the other side of the reading that, you know, you have more power than you think when it comes to your love life. You may feel like, you know, I can't make my partner commit, or I can't make them do this or that, or I can't make them leave their current partner. You have more power than you think, but you've got to be careful. I mean, with the Seven of Swords, yes, I mean, like for some of you, you could be fooling yourself. But I also feel like, you know, you could also be working against yourself. And I keep going back to the main energy, which was Temperance, saying be patient. That's why I feel like this card, you know, is saying you could be your own worst enemy by making yourself believe something that's not true. Again, Nine of Swords 2 times, the Seven of Swords 2 times, and then an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. This is someone who's significant to you. This can even be you or your partner. Again, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Now, going back to the main energies, I've talked a lot about Temperance because I mean, it really does, this really is the main energy of what all the, I'll just bring you out here, all of the cards that I see on this desk. This is telling you, just take a deep breath in the month of February. It could be that, you know, you are panicking over something. Don't jump to conclusions. Temperance is telling you, just keep everything calm. Keep the waters calm. Be patient. Be willing to hear somebody out. And the other main energy was the Hangman, which is kind of interesting because you have the Eight of Swords as a repeating message. Let's see, where is the other Eight of Swords? I know it's here. Here it is. 3 cards, 2 repeating minor arcanas, Eight of Swords, and the Hangman. 3 cards of feeling stuck. And like I said, it could be that you're feeling stuck because you feel like you're not meeting anybody new if you're single. But I also feel like you're feeling stuck. I get a strong feeling you feel stuck because you feel like you can't do anything about what your partner is doing or not doing. And I feel like for the majority of you, that's what is going on. You feel like I can't get them to change their mind. I can't get them to commit. I can't get them to come back. But I do feel, you know, something is shifting for you. If you're hoping for a reunion, or you're hoping for someone to choose you, if there is another partner, And I saw that right away, right here in the top row. I mean, Karma, the Fool, the Empress, all major arcana. These are all big things, significant changes happening in your love life in the month of February. 2 new beginnings that are risky. You know, a relationship that was maybe, you know, that ended. Maybe it ended in a really kind of negative way, because you do have the Devil in this reading. You're going to have to take a giant risk. I feel like that risk pays off with the Empress being here. Like, you get what you want. There just seem very, this is a really interesting reading with a lot of synchronicities. I see a lot of challenging cards, but the thing is that I see these challenging cards like on this side. The Four of Swords, which could be someone asking for space or leaving, and then the Eight of Cups, which means somebody walking away. But I still see a marriage there. And then on this side over here, even though you have the Nine of Swords, which is a lot of anxiety and worry, and the Eight of Swords, which is feeling stuck, you still have the Page of Cups in the middle, which represents a relationship or love. I just feel like in the month of February that you are a little bit lost, confused. It can even be your partner, and it could be that you're lost and confused because there are a lot of perhaps arguments going on with your partner. I feel like that needs to be resolved because there is a very heavy energy here from the Devil where things could get ugly. And you may kind of feel trapped, like you don't know how to deal with this. I feel now that I've, you know, gone back up to the bottom row, you don't want to let things get really ugly because this is definitely working against you. And again, the Seven of Swords is a repeating energy. You have it from both decks, telling you could be your own worst enemy. So you've got to be careful with your thoughts. There's just one thing I'm getting from this reading. Be careful of imagining that someone's cheating on you or imagining the worst. The Magician in this reading is telling you that you have more power over your situation than you think. So your advice for the month of February is to just be really patient with yourself and with your partner. Okay, Capricorn, this has been your love reading for the month of February 2018. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next month.